a couple of young linebackers were, maybe three of them actually, are really starting to move up in the terms of the quote depth chart, end quote.
Yeah, coming out of the scrimmage, Cavante Ruggs probably performed the best of any linebacker out of everybody. So he can run around and he can hit. He performed really, really well. Makes some mistakes in there as to be expected, but runs around and hits. So I think he's a guy that I think you're going to see play for sure on special teams and obviously have a role on defense.
Is that a little disappointing, though? I mean,
you know, I think you always want guys to step up that are older, but if a freshman goes in there and competes and plays at the speed you want him to play, I think it's a good thing. I'm not looking at it as a negative. I'm looking at it as a positive of a young kid, you know, really, really getting after it.
Does it ever get to a point where you have to maybe think about you simplify some things a little, at least a little early, to get the better players on the field?
I'm big on that. You know, I think when you sign and recruit good players, you want to let them play, and the less amount of thinking they can do, the better. But I think having an older guy out there maybe with him to help get him lined up will help with some of that.
So where's Zachariah? I mean, he's getting a lot.
Yeah, you know, I think Zai is very, very physical. He doesn't mind stepping up and hitting you. He brings that part to the table, and I think he's doing a good job. Just playing fast all the time. I think that's where kind of Ruggs kind of separated himself a little bit.
What does Zai do for you in space? Can he play there if he has to?
You know what? That's not his strong point for sure. You know, his strong point, he's very, very physical. He's a great kid, hard worker, and so I think he will provide some value for sure. But that's not his strong point.
What's the latest you're seeing from the running backs?
Good. You know, Scotty hit a big one on Saturday in the scrimmage. You know, there's a really good competition going right there. They're making each other better. So really like the competition and the physicality they're running with.
Looks like you had Kadir running with the ones. Where's that position battle at?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fluid. They've been moving around. You know, Ross and Benito, Kadir. I mean, but Kadir flashed in the scrimmage. He did some really, really good things. He was probably our best pass rusher in the scrimmage, just as far as speed off the edge. Me looking at it as an offensive line coach, he played at a different speed coming off the edge. So that's why he got moved up.
Where's Tariq in his development right now?
Who's that now?
Tariq Tisdale.
Oh, Tyreek. Yeah, I got you. Okay, good. Just maybe just learning the speed of the game, you know, coming from junior college to the SEC, but he shows some flashes. He's a guy that's going to help us for sure.
So you kind of feeling better about your depth there? I
feel better about the depth. I just want to see somebody separate themselves and be a clear-cut number one instead of all the back and forth. But that's what competition's doing. But we do have more depth for sure.
It looked like, Matt, you were using more people at the end. It looked like Austrian bounced out there today and Josiah a little bit.
Yeah.
What's going on
Well,
there?
you know, when we play our three down front, we have some of our D tackles that are playing D ends, but it's really a D tackle spot. So, but those guys, yeah. But again, we use that package some in Mississippi State where we play some bigger bodies up front and play man to man to help us in the run game.
Austrian still primarily on the inside.
He is, you know, some 4-eye and 3 technique. He's doing a good job.
I know it's only the second full week of camp. What's the biggest thing you've learned? Has anything surprised you?
No, I think the biggest thing I'm balancing is trying to get our work in, be more physical, be tougher, stop the run the ball better, and then balance injuries. You know, so I think that's the thing I have to balance is when to go and work, and then when to pull back and get ourselves healthy. So I think that's been the balance that we're working on.
Anyone else surprise you in the scrimmage?
Elijah Moore showed up. Really, he's probably the talk of all the fans and everybody because he made several plays in space. So Elijah Moore, Tyler Knight had a big run. So those two freshmen, along with Cavante Ruggs, showed some things. Keydron Smith is playing really well with the twos right now. So those 4 freshmen stepping up have been really impressive.
You guys still plan to use AJ at punt return or the
You know what? With him being out, we've got a lot of reps with the other guys. But I don't have that answer yet. When AJ comes back, we'll determine that.